What is up, everyone? Mr. Greathouse back in action tonight in his man cave of a basement, aka the alternative classroom, working here to teach you guys the concept of homophones, which is basically two or more words that sound the same but are spelled completely different. Um, I know a lot of people have been asking me to do this video, and here we go. It's time. I feel like the cat needs to be let out of the bag, that words like effect and effect and than and then, they are not the same words, folks. So spread the word to your friends, show them this video, because everybody could use a little schooling on this one. So hopefully you guys can sit back for a while, don't touch the dial, because this is Mr. G's English stuff. So what is up, everybody? We are back in action, like I said there in the introduction, taking a look at my top 20 most misused homophones. I know people have been, like I said, people have been asking me about some different things, and this seems to be the most common thing that people want me to cover. Um, and I will go into detail with this quite a bit tonight, and try not to make this too long of a video. But I want to cover some of these are my top 20, and like I said, if anybody wants this document, I'm always open to share it with you. It's nothing incredible. It's just something that I want to cover with a lot of you all, that a lot of adults I see misuse some of this stuff all the time. So we can go through these top 20, and then I can go back over and go through go through a couple again. But I'm not going to go through every single one in depth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose out of my top 20. I will choose a couple that I see a lot. So I want to hit home with the idea of a homophone. A homophone is two or more words that are spelled completely different, but they sound the same. So if one looks here, this is one that is misused all the time, and I know a lot of my friends have to look it up to check. I put in here, and there are some elaborate definitions down here. But what I want you guys to understand, in essence, is that affect essentially is a verb. It is an action. If something affects you, a bad breakup affects somebody. That is a verb. Okay. Effect is a noun. It's something that comes after something that happens to somebody. So it leaves an effect on someone. So that is something that I want you guys to understand uh, between these two here. If you look down here, the examples, it indicates influence. So the medicine did not affect her the way the doctor had hoped. And then effect is a noun, like I'd said. Side effects, that's a good example. So those are two words that are used, that are misused quite a bit. Than and then. Than is a comparison. So John is much taller than his brother. Then is time. So every now and then, or like this example says, we went to the park in the morning and then we left to pick up lunch. Which and which. So like I said, homophones sound the same. Which with an H is a pronoun when referring to things, essentially. So Cora wore her favorite pink shoes, which she received as a birthday gift, and then which is obviously like a nasty person, or like we always think of Halloween, like a witch flying through the sky on a broom. Here is a spot, a place. So sit right here. The other form of here with an EA is can you hear me? So that is like with your ears. So the way I always teach this one to my kids is here has the word ear in it. So if you're ever confused on using these two, always think EAR means you were hearing something with your ear. Um, R and hour. This one is misused a lot, especially in our area. Uh, a lot of people with our vernacular that we speak as Appalachians, we tend to misuse this one quite a bit. So it says here, are is a verb in present tense, a form of the word to be. So we are staying at the hotel closest to the stadium, and then our is an adjective. Okay, a plural possessive form of we. So they will bring our keys to the hotel lobby. Our refers to a group of people. Okay, so our does not deal with people. Our is a possessive. So, our house, our car. It shows possession. Okay. Um, by and by, buy is a verb. You're using it when you're buying something, purchasing something. Buy is the other by is a preposition to indicate, where something is. By the table, by the fridge, whatever it may be. Um, so we'll hit on the big ones that I know a lot of people want me to touch on. Number 9, there, and there. Okay, so THERE is basically a pronoun of I'm trying to think how to definitely use this one. It's a spot, okay? It's a place that you're talking about. So one way that I always teach it is has the word here in it, HERE. So it's a place. If you use this form of there, you're talking about a place or something of that sort. It doesn't always have to be a place, but I'm just trying to hit on this quick. Um, so put the book over there, okay? THEIR is a pronoun speaking about a group of people. So you can see here the students put their coats in the closet. It shows ownership in this tense. Um, the way I teach this one to my kids is that whenever you have someone that is left over to take money or take property of someone that's passed away, you always think of them as their heir. Okay, it's a person. THEIR is a person or deals with people. Now, THEY apostrophe RE is a what we call a contraction. This is when you take two words and put them together in essence to create a shortened or a shortcut of how to say the word. So they are is basically what this is saying. So, if we took THEY apostrophe RE and threw it in this sentence up here, it would say the students put they are coats in the closet. It doesn't make any sense, right? So that's how I always have my kids test it themselves, is to see whether or not it makes sense. If you throw the word they are out there, if you throw those words in your sentence and it doesn't make sense, obviously this is the wrong form of the word. Number 10, two, two, and two. Um, Two, like it says here, is a preposition. You're going to the park. It's 1-0. Now, this is one that I just tell my kids they're just going to have to memorize it. It's going to a place. To, T-O. All right. T-O-O is meaning like excessively, like too much. So maybe a way, and I'm just thinking up this on the fly, maybe a way that we can think of TO and TOO. When you think of TOO, think of there are too many O's. So there's two O's instead of one. TWO, normally my kids don't mess this one up too much. It's a number. Okay. Here we see another contraction. Your and your. YOU apostrophe RE is shortened for you are. So again, if we were to look at this sentence here, you are going to absolutely love this new recipe. Obviously, that makes sense. Okay. But if we plug this form of your here down here, please bring you are books to class with you tomorrow. It doesn't fit, right? It doesn't sound right. So you use the other form of your, which is a pronoun. Bear and bear, I do see that every once in a while. One and one is used some, but I don't see that too much. Essentially, one is a number. WON. That form is basically winning. Okay. Break and brake. BRAKE are like the brakes on your car, and BREAK is like you need to take a break from working out. Um, Allowed and allowed. This is one I saw actually today. ALOUD means you're saying something aloud. So the way I always remember this is if you want to be loud, you're saying something aloud. All right. And then ALLOWED means that you gave permission to. You let them do something. So I allowed my friend to come over. Um, Lie and lie. It's and it's. Here's another contraction. It is. So if you plug in the words it is, um, and it makes sense, then it's the right form. But if it doesn't, then it's not. So it is raining today, so the baseball game will be canceled. Now, if we plug that in here, the cat is licking it is paws. Again, it doesn't make sense, so we're not gonna roll with it. Excuse me. ITS without the apostrophe is basically it belongs to somebody. Um, Capital and capital. I know personally, whenever we were on our teacher strike, the past couple of years, this is one I saw even from some teacher friends, and I'm just sitting here as an English teacher, like, dude, bro, don't come on now, like you need to know these things. Um, Capital with an AL is referring to a city, a wealth of resources, or an uppercase letter. So the capital of Maryland is the gorgeous city of Annapolis. With an OL, you are actually talking about the Capitol building. Okay, so if we're talking about a capital of a city, then we use the AL. But if we're talking about a Capitol building, we use OL. Okay, and then principal and principal. This will round it out at number 20. Um, a principle is basically, well, it says a noun meaning a basic truth or law. Um, Life principles is the example they give you here. Now, a principal with an AL, and I see this a lot too, is actually the principal of a school, okay, or like it says here, an organization. So when you're using these, make sure you're using the right form. Guys, I try and make these short, sweet, to the point. That way, I'm not taking up too much of your time here. But definitely, if you want to get a hold of these homophones, I will shoot them to you anytime. Just shoot me an email. My email is, I can put it here. Let's do this. Reach me at cody.greathouse@k12.wv.us. Right here is my email. If you want to freeze the video now and kind of take a picture of it or type it down, feel free to do that. But, and like I said, I'm giving all of you this, so it's no big deal at all. So that is homophones. Hopefully you can show this to your friend, your wife, like I probably will, because my wife is always asking me, like, hey, Cody, what is the right form of two? And I'm sitting here thinking, like, and I tell her, like, I've taught you this. Like, you do it yourself, all right? And I don't mean to call her out, but that's the way it is. We had that discussion today. But hopefully, guys, you guys have learned a little something, something in the past few weeks. Once again, I hope everybody continues to stay safe. I hope you guys are looking after your loved ones, calling the grandparents, checking in on mom and pops, and those are that have compromised immune systems. I hope you guys are checking on who you need to be checking in on, guys. Once again, I appreciate every single one of you. My videos don't get a ton of views, which it's just some English jargon. I don't expect them to, but I hope that I teach someone something, and that is my goal. As long as I teach someone something. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your week. This is Mr. Greathouse signing off.